Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Right here.
Well, Lori, we're going to go to the beach today.
Where we gonna go? Lo de Mago?
We're going to go to Lo del Marcos, and we're going to interview Will there. And what do you like about Lo del Marcos?
Well, I like it, kind of small town and then quiet. It's not a lot of tourists there. That's the way I like the Lo de Mago and the beach right there too.
It's a beautiful beach, great swimming beach, huh? You like to swim there? No, she doesn't like to swim there. I thought she did, but maybe not. So what we're going to find out from Will, how he came down to Mexico. He had no idea about starting a business or anything else, and he fell into a great deal. And it will click in your mind maybe if you've ever thought about moving to Mexico and you want to work here, how can you do it? Will's going to explain it to you, and maybe that'll give you some ideas. The other thing that he's going to talk about is medical care, his personal medical care and how he uses it in Mexico, him and his wife. And also, he's going to talk about, as a single person living in Mexico, you know, a good life on $1,500 a month. And a lot more things in here, so we're going to really be excited to show you this video. Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels, and today we're going to interview Will. And Will has retired, and he's an entrepreneur that again has retired. He lives in Mexico now. He lives the good life, and I'm curious about his life because he has a lot of interesting stories. And so let's spend about 10 minutes here and talk about, you know, how did you end up in Mexico?
Okay. Well, I've been drawn to Mexico for a long time because I had a Mexican restaurant in Seattle, Washington called Agua Verde. And at one time I was a kayaking guide in the Baja Peninsula, Baja California Sur. And so over the years I became very enamored with the culture, the cuisine, the people, you know, everything about Mexico. Arrived in a little town called Atacama, just south of San Blas. We really liked it, and we discovered that the property was for sale. And before the end of the week, we gave the owner a deposit for the house. Didn't look at another property, just gave her a deposit. And after a year, we paid the balance. So it was sort of impulsive that we arrived at this coast. And you know, I just couldn't stay retired. So we bought another property close to Atacama in a little town called La Bajada. And it was 10 acres, and it has great oceans, and we bought it as an investment. The price was pretty good back then. And the property came with 320 mango trees.
Wow.
I bought this property, and I had the mango trees, and I thought, well, I can't just let these trees be unattended.
Right.
So I became a mango farmer.
Oh, okay.
And eventually we discovered that dehydrating mangoes was probably the most lucrative avenue to take with mangoes. A lot of people grow mangoes for the fresh mango, and they export them to the States and Canada and Europe. And they also dry mangoes, and they export those. But not many people were drying mangoes, dehydrating mangoes, and selling them here in the national market. Well, we discovered a niche.
Ah, okay.
And we've been doing this for 3 years now.
Okay, okay. So you, as an entrepreneur, sounds like you weren't able to just retire, you know, young man, you know, a high energy, and you buy this property with a lot of mangoes on it, and then you become a entrepreneur, gentleman farmer, I guess.
I just wanted something to do. You know, I like you said, I'm an entrepreneur. I've always been self-employed, and this looked like an interesting way to make a living, or semi-living. We don't work full-time, although right now we're selling at 3 farmers markets, and they're all 2 to 3 hours from where we live.
Okay.
So we end up living in this town, Lo de Marcos, 3 nights a week, do the markets in 3 different towns, sell the mangoes, and my wife makes other products. And then we go home to Atacama for 4 nights. So it's kind of a gypsy lifestyle,
Yeah.
but we like it.
Yeah,
You know, it
yeah.
breaks up the week nicely. We bring our dogs with us. We've got a nice place to stay here. and it's fun. It
Yeah.
works out. I meet a lot of interesting people.
Will, one of the main questions our audience is after is, what does it cost for somebody, realistically, you've been here for years now, and you have an idea of what it cost you to live. Give us some ideas of what you're spending.
Think about this too much. $1,500 a month, you could live pretty comfortably down here, and not be totally watching your pennies. When you want to go out to dinner and have a margarita, not a problem. Prices are still low for most things, especially food, drinks.
What do you think the rents are going in this area?
Say the monthly rental would be probably $700-800 for a nice, comfortable place, either 1 or 2 bedrooms where everything works, the baño, the regadera, which is shower. Probably not on the beach. And there's lots of places that are less expensive than that. It depends on what your needs are and what you're comfortable with. But that's a ballpark. You can rent a place for a year, then you're talking about a lot less money, and people do that.
Maybe something that's renting for 7 or 8 on a high season rate. Maybe if they rent it for a total year and get a long-term rental, they may be spending $500.
Oh yeah,
something like that.
Lo de Marcas also is raising its prices, but still there's lots of other towns. If you want to go a little bit farther north.
Now, what about the hospital? What about the doctors here?
I'm a permanent resident of Mexico, and so is my wife, and that's not a hard thing to become. But once you become a permanent resident, you are able to get free health care. Free health care as a foreigner living in Mexico. You do not have to be a citizen. The catch, I guess you could call it, is that you have to use specific hospitals and specific clinics.
Okay.
It's called Seguro Popular. And I've done that 2 or 3 times, and it's always worked out well, although it hasn't been quite as luxurious, let's say, as private hospitals that I've been to.
Yeah.
And the lines are long, but the treatment is free. On the other hand, my wife had appendicitis a couple of years ago, and we went to San Rafael Hospital in Tepic, and she was treated by this wonderful doctor, a young man who was really attentive. The place is immaculate. We probably spent a third to a quarter of what it would have cost her in the States.
Okay.
And yeah, so there's lots of options available.
You're using the Mexican medical insurance plan down here, which is free. You mentioned your wife also going to a private hospital.
Yes.
Are you self-insured, or do you have like a medical plan?
We do not have a plan, although plans are available. So there are options.
Right.
There's medical insurance plans, health plans down here. Yeah.
Well, Will, here's the big question that a lot of people want to know for yourself, and of course for your wife. Is it safe to go? You live here full time, and you experience it. You've experienced a lot of different things. Overall, is it safe in Mexico?
Yeah, definitely. It's a tough question to answer because there's random situations that occur. Petty crime happens, but it also happens in the States. I wouldn't say it's less safe here than it is in the States. We don't have random shootings like you read about every day in the papers or on the internet.
Chicago, recently
Yeah,
has thousands of people being shot.
this is not happening down here. The family structure is much tighter here. People don't just go on a rage and shoot people. We feel completely safe down here. We don't feel threatened at all.
They're self-supporting. They've got a good situation down here.
That's right. And thank you, Jerry and Laurie. Yes, it's been fun. And by all means, people come down and check it out.
Yeah.
It's great down here.
Yeah, good. Well, Will, thank you for this interview. I know our audience will, get a lot of information on this. The ones that are planning to retire, or maybe they just want to come down for 6 months a year. So, this has been Jerry Brown with Jerry Brown's Travels. More upcoming videos why Americans and Canadians are choosing Mexico. And check out living in Mexico and the lifestyle of living in Mexico for an expat. Every Sunday at 1 p.m. California time, a free video. Also, please subscribe, and that's free too, and we have over 900 videos to serve you.